During the state visit of the President of the People's Republic of China, Xi Jinping, to Moscow, London announced the imminent supply to Ukraine of ammunition with depleted uranium. The West must bear the primary responsibility for leading what was a local conflict in the Donbass towards a global nuclear war. Another phase of the conflict began in February 2022, when Russia launched its special military operation to protect the Donbass's Russian-speaking residents from the Kiev regime's aggression. The West immediately declared support for Ukraine by non-lethal means and equipment. Shortly afterwards, the West began supplying Kiev with defensive weapons. Further, the West armed Ukrainian forces with offensive weapons, including US-made HIMARS MLRS. Thereon, NATO decided to supply heavy military equipment to Ukraine, including its main battle tanks. They are now preparing supplies of combat aircraft and the most advanced weapon systems. On March 21, 2023, Great Britain announced that they would supply ammunition manufactured using depleted uranium, designed to more easily penetrate tank armour, albeit highly toxic. The modus operandi of the West demonstrates that the next step will probably be to send NATO troops to the Ukrainian front, or to supply nuclear weapons to the Kiev regime. Russian President Putin and Xi Jinping of China reacted sharply to London's announcement. Whilst the Chinese president and I were discussing the possibility of implementing the Chinese peace plan, and the Chinese president devoted considerable attention to his peace initiatives during our one-on-one conversation yesterday, the UK Deputy Defence Minister announced that the United Kingdom would supply not only tanks to Ukraine, but also depleted uranium shells. It seems that the West really has decided to fight Russia to the last Ukrainian, no longer in words, but in deeds. But in this regard, I would like to note that if all this comes to pass, then Russia will have to respond accordingly. What I mean is that the collective West is already starting to use weapons with a nuclear component. The leaders of China and Russia objectively assess the risk of the conflict in Ukraine escalating into a global war. Their joint statements and signed documents are filled with theses on the need to jointly counter the aggressive imperialist policy of the United States and NATO. In fact, the talks between Moscow and Beijing were the first real step in the formation of a new military political alliance in Eurasia. London has well contributed to this process.